The serial killer movie is a huge draw at the box office. However, so many are based on supposedly true stories that really aren't true. They just use the true story as a basic outline and then fill in the rest of the script with made-up stuff to thrill the audience. But in doing this, they often bury the real story of the actual serial killer. So here is a list of serial killer movies that are more realistic than others, as watched and analyzed by Dr. Stephen F. Myler, Ph.D., a cinema enthusiast. But before we get into it, please consider subscribing to my channel where I publish new videos every day about true crime, mysteries, and horror. The very first serial killer movie ever made was probably also one of the best, and had the psychological insight of modern movies are missing altogether. The movie is M from 1931. This German masterpiece, directed by the legendary Fritz Lang, created such a realistic and terrifying portrayal of a child murderer that even today it is considered one of the greatest films ever made. The movie is about a child murderer who targets children with the temptation of toys, balloons, and sweets, only to take their lives once he has them alone. You never see the murder itself in the movie, but the brilliance of the film is that it creates a sense of dread and fear that is very real. The next film on our list is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. This 1986 psychological horror film is based on the real-life crimes of Henry Lee Lucas. Lucas was an American serial killer and confessed to the murders of over 35 people in the United States. Although it's believed that he may have killed many more, the film does not shy away from showing the brutality of his crimes, which makes it a very intense and disturbing watch. Another great film about a serial killer is Man Bites Dog. This 1992 Belgian movie is a mockumentary that follows a film crew as they document the activities of a serial killer. The movie is incredibly suspenseful and keeps you guessing until the very end. What makes it different from other films on this list is that the killer in the movie is actually a real person. The Zodiac Killer is a 2007 film that tells the story of the real-life case of the Zodiac Killer, a serial killer who operated in the San Francisco Bay Area in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The film follows the police investigation into the case and the media frenzy that surrounds it. It's a well-made film that does a good job of staying true to the real-life case. A 2006 British television film portrays the life and crimes of Dennis Nilsen, a British serial killer who was convicted of murdering at least 15 men in the 1970s and 80s. The film is disturbing, but also provides a fascinating look into the mind of a serial killer. Red Riding is a 2009 British horror film that follows a journalist as he investigates a series of women's murders in Yorkshire by injuries caused by a hammer in northern England in the 1970s. The film is based on the real-life crimes of the Yorkshire Ripper, a serial killer who terrorized the region for over a year. In conclusion, these 5 films are some of the best when it comes to portraying serial killers in a realistic way. They stay true to the real-life cases they are based on and do not shy away from showing the brutality and darkness of these crimes. If you're a fan of true crime or just looking for a good thriller, then I highly recommend checking them out. Let me know in the comments if there are any other serial killer movies that you think should have made the list. Until next time, thanks for watching.